Hello everybody, welcome to this week's video where we will be covering UFC 265, but first, as always, we will cover all of our wins and losses from the previous week. So here in the first fight, and actually this was not the first fight, a couple fights were canceled and then they mixed up the order, and it was all out of whack this day. They did some weird stuff. But either way, the Vanilla Gorilla, he got it done for us, and he had some really solid numbers. He became 2-2 in the UFC. He won by unanimous decision. And the Vanilla Gorilla, it's pretty crazy how that all lined up perfectly. Barberina became 6-6 in the UFC. All of that, everything hit, right? Now we get to the next fight, Adashev. Adashev won. He won by decision. I don't know if there was anything that pointed towards decision here, but yeah, he became 1-2 in the UFC. He was also the Lion, and the time he won, his nickname's the Lion, and it's the time of Leo. So I thought that was kind of funny that once I noticed that fight day that he won, but he was actually our first fight. They moved him to a preliminary fight. Also, all sort of funky stuff. Then we got to this one. This one is where, Night Train, he had really solid numbers, and, I didn't go with him, unfortunately. 18 and 108. Fight night equals 108. If something lines up with fight night, and they're fighting in a fight night, of course, it's looking like it's probably gonna hit. He also became, Stolze became 12-5. Green Mask versus Night Train equals 125. Gooden won by knockout. His 8th win by knockout. Magdeburg, Germany equals 80 in full reduction. Knockout equals 8 in full reduction. Pretty much all of these, every one of these but the submission was exactly what happened. So, yeah, guys. So there is that one. So we should have we should have paid more attention to Gooden there, but it's whatever. We can't win them all. And then this one, the 62. Bays became 6-2. Gloria equals 62. The 62s they be killing me sometimes. I be fading them and they hit. Bays, she also got her 6th win. The Paula equals 60. UFC Fight Night equals 60. So things that equal the UFC Fight Night or Fight Night, either one of those, look at those ciphers. They definitely pay heavy attention to those when it's a fight night, of course. And then obviously Paula lost. And then we get to this was a canceled fight, unfortunately, so I feel like I put in all this work on this one, even took a hella extra time trying to figure out who was gonna win, and then they canceled it, so that was disappointing. And then this fight, the main event, this one was the easiest call of easy calls in my opinion. I don't think it could have gotten any easier than this. Because again, guys, the 113, like I was talking about before in the last video, I faded the 113 and it hit with Miranda Maverick falling to 11-3. Strickland became 11-3 in the UFC. Main card fight equals 113. UFC Apex equals 113. It's the 30th prime round, like all that stuff, but nothing ended in it. Obviously went to the unanimous decision. Right here shows that he got his 11th UFC win by unanimous decision. There's also the Hall became 10-8 in the UFC. Fight night equals 108. And I know this other stuff, Primetime and Uriah Primetime Hall equals 108. But again, UFC or Fight Night equals 108. So we have to pay attention to that, guys. And these are just a couple quick things I want to show you guys that we need to pay attention to so we can be on the right side of these fights. Also looking at the boosts, the boost showed they were going for call heavy, so it was pretty easy to call that Strickland was going to win just off the boosts as well, guys. But that being said, that is all of the recap, and let's get right into our fights. Alright guys, now we are to UFC 265. We are only doing the main cards per usual. And we are in fight number 1. We have Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny. And real quick, if you guys could please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and hit the notification bell. It would greatly be appreciated. And join Hidden Gem if you're not already. Link in the description. Alright guys, now we have Yadong's record is 16-5-1. He has 1 no contest. He's 5-1-1 in the UFC. He has 6 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission, 7 wins by decision, 1 loss by knockout, 3 losses by decision, 1 loss by disqualification, 1 draw. Kenny's record is 16-3-1. He's 5-2 in the UFC. He has 2 wins by knockout, 5 wins by submission, 9 wins by decision, 3 losses by decision, 1 draw. Things that favor Yadong. Kenny can become 5-3 in the UFC. Casey equals 53. Casey Kenny equals 53. Song equals 53. Kung Fu Monkey equals 53. Saturday equals 53. Toyota Center equals 53 and full reduction. Yadong can become 17-5. Tucson, Arizona equals 175. 175 divided by 5 is 35. TKO equals 35. Yadong can get a 17th win. Saturday equals 107. Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny equals 107. Casey Kenny equals 170. Song equals 17. Casey equals 17 and full reduction. Yadong can get his 17th win by knockout on the 7th. Yadong can get his 4th win by submission. Houston equals 40 and single reduction. Yadong can get his 8th win by decision. Split decision equals 80. Kenny can get his 4th loss. Houston equals 40 and single reduction. Kenny can get his 1st loss by knockout. Knockout equals, or KO equals 10. TKO equals 10 and full reduction. Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny equals 100 and full reduction. Things that favor Kenny. It's 140 days before and 225 days after Kenny's birthday. UFC 265, Lewis versus Gain equals 225. Submission equals 140. Kenny can become 6-2 in the UFC. Houston, Texas equals 62 and reverse full reduction. Lewis versus Gain equals 62 and reverse full reduction. Yadong versus Kenny equals 62 and reverse full reduction. And I typically don't put that, but the reason why I put that they're all 62 and reverse full reduction is because, again, they're all in reverse full reduction. And that doesn't seem by accident. And again, remember what I just mentioned about earlier when the review about the 62 burning me. It's been kicking my ass lately by being not going after it. And that's across all sports. So the 62 is very powerful, especially since they are in Houston, Texas. The main event is Lewis versus, I said Gain. Lewis versus Gan. And then Yadong versus Kenny equals 62. Damn English, fucking me up. But yeah, guys, 62 is very strong. And then I don't think it's any coincidence that it's 140 days before Kenny's birthday and 220 days after his birthday. So if this fight ends by submission, I mean, I put it here, guys. That's how I think this fight is probably going to end. I think I'm just going to say I'm going to go with Kenny here, but I'll show you guys the other numbers. So Yadong can become 5-2-1 in the UFC. 521 is the 98th prime. Sacramento, California is 98 in single reduction. And Yadong is fighting out of Sacramento, California. Kenny can become 17-3. 173 is the 40th prime. Houston equals 40 in single reduction. They're fighting in Houston. Kenny can get his 17th win. Saturday equals 107. Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny equals 107. Casey Kenny equals 170. Song equals 17. Casey equals 17 in full reduction. Kenny can get his 3rd win by knockout. Texas equals 30. Saturn equals 30 in single reduction. Round 3 equals 30 in full reduction. Yadong equals 30 in full reduction. Kenny can get his 6th win by submission. Sub equals 6 in full reduction. Kenny can get his 10th win by decision. Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny equals 100 in full reduction. Yadong can get his 6th loss. Sub equals 6 in full reduction. Yadong can get his 1st loss by submission. Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny equals 100 in full reduction. Yadong can get his 4th loss by decision. Houston equals 40 in single reduction. And guys, I'm going to go with Casey Kenny here. Like I said, I'm going to take Kenny money line minus 119. I know one of you guys are saying that it could be a draw. It could be. You could put money on that if you guys would like, but I'm not going to actually. I've thought about it, and after seeing these numbers, I'm going to say that I'm going to lean towards this line happening right here, that Kenny is going to win by submission, and I'm going to lean on that. And Casey Kenny becoming 6-2 in the UFC. I don't see the 62. I just don't see the 62 not hitting, guys. Like, we've been burned on it. I've been burned by not going with it too many times to not notice that it's been hitting. If it doesn't hit here, then it's been a coincidence. But we're not about coincidences here, guys. 62 has been hitting for a reason, just like the 113 and the 108s, all of that. So we have more to go. That was fight number 1 out of 5. And yeah, guys, let's get to the rest of our fights. Now we're on main card fight number 2 out of 5. And we have Tessia Tiny Tornado Torres versus Angela Overkill Hill. Torres' record is 11-5-0. Wiki says she has 12 wins. She's 8-5 in the UFC. She has 1 win by knockout, 1 win by submission, 10 wins by decision, 5 losses by decision. Hill's record is 13-9-0. She's 8-9-0 in the UFC. 5 wins by knockout, 8 wins by decision, 2 wins by submission, 7 wins by decision, or 7 losses by decision, sorry. Things that favor Torres. Torres can get her 12th win. Tiny Tornado versus Overkill equals 102 in full reduction. Torres can become 9-5 in the UFC. Torres equals 95. Torres can get her 2nd win by knockout on 20-date numerology. Tessia equals 20 in full reduction. Torres can get her 2nd win by submission on 20-date numerology. Tessia equals 20 in full reduction. Torres can get her 11th win by decision. Unanimous decision equals 101. Tiny Tornado versus Overkill equals 111 in single reduction. Hill can become 13-10. 131 is the 32nd prime. Angela equals 32. Houston equals 32. Torres equals 32 in full reduction. Hill can get her 10th loss. KO equals 10. TKO equals 10 in full reduction. Hill can become 8-10 in the UFC. Angela Hill equals 81. Hill can get her 10th loss in the UFC. KO equals 10. TKO equals 10 in full reduction. Hill can get her 3rd loss by submission. Texas equals 30. Tiny Tornado versus Overkill equals 300. Saturn equals 30 in single reduction. Round 3 equals 30 in full reduction. Hill can get her 8th loss by decision. Split decision equals 80. Hill can get her 1st loss by knockout. Knockout equals 10. TKO equals 10 in full reduction. Things that favor Hill. Hill can get her 10th or her 14th win. Overkill equals 104. Hill can get her 9th UFC win. UFC 265. Lewis versus Gane equals 90. San Diego, California equals 90 in full reduction. Hill can become 9-9 in the UFC. San Diego, California equals 99 in single reduction. Fort Lauderdale, Florida equals 99 in full reduction. Hill can get her 6th win by knockout. Torres versus Hill equals 60 in full reduction. Hill can get her 9th win by decision. UFC 265 Lewis versus Gane equals 90. San Diego, California equals 90 in full reduction. Torres can become 8-6 in the UFC. Angela Overkill Hill equals 86 in full reduction. Torres can get her 6th loss. Torres versus Hill equals 60 in full reduction. Torres can get her 6th loss in the UFC. Torres versus Hill equals 60 in full reduction. Torres can get her 6th loss by decision. Torres versus Hill equals 60 in full reduction. Now my pick here is going to be Tessia Tiny Tornado Torres. And I'm going to take her money line minus 147. And reason being is because we have Angela Hill can become 8-10 in the UFC. Angela Hill equals 81. Hill can become 13-10. All of this stuff. I like the 102 going in favor for Torres. I like that Torres can become 9-5 in the UFC and Torres equals 95. That this looks really solid. There's a couple things that Hill has here, but I think it lines up very well for Torres to win. Also, at the time of this, the lines were weird, where Torres was -147 and Hill was +108. And it seemed like bait to go in on Hill at that time. I think the lines are a little bit more reasonable now, but if Torres was -147, Hill should not be +108, and that's the point. She should be like +120, 130 something, right? So that was where I was saying there, guys. But either way, I'm going with Torres. I seen a boost with Hill on it. I think Torres is going to get this with the numbers on her side and everything. And yeah, guys, there is that fight. Let's get to our next fight. Awesome. Now we're on main card fight number 3 out of 5. And we're on we have Michael Maverick Chiesa versus Vincent the Silent Assassin Luque. Chiesa's record is 18-4-0. He's 11-4 in the UFC. 11 wins by submission, 7 wins by decision, 1 loss by knockout, 3 losses by submission. Luque's record is 27-1. He is 13-3 in the UFC. He has 11 wins by knockout, 7 wins by submission, 7 wins by decision, 2 wins by submission, 5 wins by decision, 1 draw. Chiesa can get his things that favor Chiesa. Chiesa can get his 19th win, Saturday equals 109. Chiesa can get his 12th UFC win on 7/8. Michael Chiesa versus Vincent Luque equals 120 in full reduction. Sick Jiu-Jitsu fighting systems equals 102 in full reduction. Maverick versus the Silent Assassin equals 102 in full reduction. 12th Prime is 37. Saturday equals 37 in single reduction. Maverick equals 37 in full reduction. The 12th Triangular is 78. Vincent equals 78. Decision equals 78. Chiesa can get his 12th win by decision on 7/8. All the same shit, guys. I'm not repeating it. Chiesa can get his 8th win by decision. Split decision equals 80. Luque can become 20-8. Knockout equals 28. UFC 265 equals 28. Saturday equals 28 in full reduction. Round 1 equals 28 in full reduction. Michael Maverick Chiesa versus Vincent the Silent Assassin Luque equals 280 in single reduction. Luque can get his 8th loss. Split decision equals 80. Knockout or KO equals 8 in full reduction. Luque can become 13-4 in the UFC. Maverick equals 134. Luque can get his 4th UFC loss. Houston equals 40 in single reduction. Luque can get his 3rd loss by submission. Texas equals 30. Saturn equals 30 in single reduction. Round 3 equals 30 in full reduction. Luque can get his 6th loss by decision. Michael Chiesa equals 60 in full reduction. The Silent Assassin equals 60 in full reduction. Things that favor Luque. Luque can become 21-7. Michael Maverick Chiesa versus Vincent the Silent Assassin Luque equals 217 in full reduction. Luque can get his 21st win. Sub equals 21. Saturn equals 21 in full reduction. Luque can become 14-3 in the UFC. Houston, Texas equals 143. Luque can get his 14th UFC win. Brasilia, Brazil equals 104. Submission equals 140. Luque can get his 12th win by knockout on 7/8. Michael Chiesa versus Vincent Luque equals 120 in full reduction. Sick Jiu-Jitsu fighting systems equals 102 in full reduction. Maverick versus the Silent Assassin equals 102 in full reduction. 12th Prime equals 37. Saturday equals 37 in single reduction. Maverick equals 37 in full reduction. 12th Triangular equals 78. Vincent equals 78. Luque can get his 8th win by submission on 36 date numerology. 36 is the 8th triangular. Chiesa equals 36. Main card equals 36 in full reduction. Luque can get his 3rd win by decision. Texas equals 30. Saturn equals 30 in single reduction. Chiesa can become 18-5. Technical knockout equals 185. 185 divided by 5 equals 37. Saturday equals 37 in single reduction. Maverick equals 37 in full reduction. Chiesa can become 11-5 in the UFC. Vincent the Silent Assassin Luque equals 115 in full reduction. Chiesa can get his 2nd loss by knockout on 20 date numerology. Chiesa can get his 4th loss by submission. Houston equals 40 in single reduction. My pick is going to be the Silent Assassin Luque. or Vincent the Silent Assassin Luque. And my bet is going to be Luque money line minus 114, or at the time of when I did the decode, it was that. I'm taking a money line. And a few things. I mean, I see Tabusa, Chiesa is just not as good of a fighter, though. He's not as well-rounded. He's more about grappling and a point fighter and submissions, where Luque is just a better all-around fighter. And Chiesa doesn't really want to stand with him. I see this fight. This fight could go to the decision, but I think it's gonna be a third round loss by. I think Luque is gonna win in the third round by TKO or submission. I'm probably just gonna take money line here, guys. I don't really feel the need to go anything crazy, but I definitely think Luque is winning this one. I know Chiesa's hyped up by the public, but Luque is the better fighter, has the better numbers, and should get this job done for us, guys. Honestly, this is one of those fights here where I would be surprised if we are not on the right side of this one. So this is probably one I'll put a little bit more on, just because I feel pretty comfortable with these numbers. And that's not to say that I don't feel comfortable with the other ones, because I do feel comfortable with those other fights as well. This one just looks really solid. So that's where I feel really confident and comfortable with this one. Luque should get this one done. He has solid numbers. The line looks good for him. I would go with Luque here all the way and sleep fine. So that being said, let's get to our next fight. We're to main card fight number 4 out of 5. And this is also our co-main event of the evening, guys. Here we have Jose Aldo versus Pedro, the Young Punisher Munoz. Aldo's record is 29-7-0. He's 11-6 in the UFC. He has 17 wins by knockout, 1 win by decision, 11 wins by decision. All right, 1 win by submission, 11 wins by decision. 4 losses by knockout, 1 loss by submission, 2 losses by decision. Munoz's record is 19-5-0. He has 1 no contest. He's 9-5-0 in the UFC. He has one no contest. He has 5 wins by knockout, 8 wins by submission, 6 wins by decision, and 5 losses by decision. Things that favor Aldo. Aldo can become 30-7. Saturday equals 37 in single reduction. Aldo can get his 30th wins. Texas equals 30. Saturn equals 30 in single reduction. Round 3 equals 30 in full reduction. Aldo can get his 2nd win by submission on 20 date numerology. Munoz equals 20. Munoz can get his 6th loss. Sub equals 6 in full reduction. Sao Paulo, Brazil equals 60 in full reduction. Munoz can get his 6th loss by decision. Sao Paulo, Brazil equals 60 in full reduction. Munoz can get his 1st loss by knockout. Knockout equals 10. TKO equals 10 in full reduction. Things that favor Munoz. Munoz can become 20-5, 205 divided by 5 equals 41. Submission equals 41 in full reduction. UFC 265 equals 25 in full reduction. Munoz can get his 20th win on 20 date numerology. Munoz equals 20. Munoz can become 10-5 in the UFC. Sub equals 15 in single reduction. Texas equals 15 in full reduction. Munoz can get his 10th win in the UFC. KO equals 10. TKO equals 10 in full reduction. Munoz can get his 6th win by knockout. Sao Paulo, Brazil equals 60 in full reduction. Munoz can get his 9th win by submission. UFC 265, Lewis vs. Gane equals 90. The Young Punisher equals 90 in full reduction. Aldo can get his 8th loss. KO equals 8 in full reduction. Aldo can get his 5th loss by knockout. Nova Eugenio equals 50. Aldo can get his 2nd loss by submission on 20 date numerology. Munoz equals 20. Aldo can get his 3rd loss by decision. Texas equals 30. Saturn equals 30 in single reduction. My pick here is going to be Pedro, the Young Punisher Munoz, and my bet here is going to be money line plus 102, and I'm going to tap Munoz by submission plus 900. I'm going to put like $10 max on it. But I think it's a good one to put on, and the reason being is because submissions don't happen very often. Most people aren't going to be on it. He can get his 9th win by submission. UFC 265, Lewis versus Gane equals 90. The Young Punisher equals 90 in full reduction. Aldo can also get his 2nd loss by submission on 20 date numerology. Munoz equals 20. Munoz can become 20-5. 205 divided by 5 is 41. Submission equals 41 in full reduction. UFC 265 equals 25 in full reduction. 25, 205. So tap that. I would mainly go on money line, guys. Don't go all in on props. Money line should always be the biggest play, but I would tap the submission. I think that this is going to end by submission. There's also so many boosts on Jose Aldo winning this fight. I can almost see that is not going to happen, because I've seen at least 5 to 7 boosts on Jose Aldo, and it's ridiculous. I've seen none on Munoz whatsoever. The public's also going to be on Jose Aldo because everybody's familiar with him. So that being said, Munoz all the way, guys. He's also a good fighter. He's not a bad fighter by any means. So definitely go with Munoz. I think he's going to win this. I feel very confident in this fight as well. Honestly, between our third fight, this fight, and the main event, I feel the most confident. The main event, I'll put it this way: the main event, I have no doubt in my mind who is winning that fight. I'll be shocked if they don't win. But these other two, I feel very confident in. I feel very confident in this one, and I feel very confident in the Luque. I forgot his name for a second there, so that's why I was stalling for a second. But I just had to scroll up. So yeah, I feel very confident in Munoz and Luque to win their fights, and I feel extremely confident in the main event. And let's get to the main event of the evening. It is time for our main event of the evening and fight number 5 out of 5. And we have Derek the Black Beast Lewis versus Cyril Bongaman Gan. Freaking French. Lewis's record is 25-7-0. He has 1 no contest, 16-5-0 in the UFC, 20 wins by knockout, 1 win by submission, 4 wins by decision, 4 losses by knockout, 1 loss by submission, 2 losses by decision. Gan's record is 9-0. He is 6-0 in the UFC. He has 3 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission, 3 wins by decision. Things that favor Lewis. Lewis can get his 26th win. Knockout equals 26. Lewis can get his 17th win, or UFC win. Saturday equals 107. TKO equals 17. Lewis can get his 21st win by knockout. Saturn equals 21 in full reduction. Lewis can get his 5th win by decision. Cyril Gan equals 50. Main event equals 50. Gan can get his 1st loss. KO equals 10. TKO equals 10 in full reduction. Things that favor Gan. Gan can become 10-0. Knockout equals 10. TKO equals 10 in full reduction. 29 equals the 10th prime. Round 2 equals 29 in full reduction. Knockout equals 29 in full reduction. Gan can become 7-0 in the UFC. Paris, France equals 70. That's where he's fighting out of. Gan can get his 4th win by knockout. Houston equals 40 in single reduction. Main event equals 40 in full reduction. Gan can get his 4th win by submission. Houston equals 40. Main event equals 40. Gan get his 4th win by decision, etc. Guys, you guys get it. Lewis can become 25-8. Number of the beast equals 258. And he is also, remember, he is called the Black Beast. So it's definitely not far-fetched to say that they're going to do a number of the beast ritual here, especially with at the time of this recording, Josh Allen, quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, signed a 6-year extension for $258 million to stay with the Buffalo Bills for 6 more years, right? So there's already that as well. The Black Beast and the number of the beast, I definitely see the connection there. Lewis can get his 8th loss. The Black Beast equals 80. Derek Lewis equals 80. Knockout equals 8 and full reduction. Lewis can get his 5th loss by knockout. Cyril Gann equals 50. Main event equals 50. And guys, I'm going to go with Cyril Gann, and I'm going to take Gann money line minus 345. I know the money line sucks there. We're not really going to make much money on that, but I do not see any way that Gann loses this fight whatsoever. Where I'm at though, I know that there's some boosts for this fight going to not ending in the, ending my knockout and stuff like that. I do think that Gann's going to win by TKO or knockout, something of the sort. But I'm not going to bet it just because I don't think we need to. It depends on how the night's going. I don't think we need to. Money line is looking very solid, and that's probably what I'm gonna stick to on this fight. Especially if we're having a great performance before this, I'm probably most definitely stick with money line. Probably if we're doing bad, I'll probably just stick with money line, period, guys. I don't know, I keep going back and forth, but yeah, I'm gonna stick with money line here. I do think it'll end by a knockout. There's a lot of things pointing to that, but there's also some things pointing to it going to decision. So with that being said, that is UFC 265 main card fights. Those are my picks and predictions on what I think is going to happen. We went 3-5 last week, and I want us to go 5 out of 5 this week. So 3 out of 5 is good. 5 out of 5 is amazing, and that's where I want to be. I want to be amazing. So good luck to you guys this weekend. Good luck UFC 265, and I'll see you guys over on Stake. Hey, you want to protect yourself online? Do you want to access the sports books that I use? You will need a VPN. Sign up for Pure VPN with the link in the description. Alright guys, welcome to Stake. And with the challenge account, we took it from $100. It was like $110 or something like that. I don't know, something like $110, and now we have it to $534. This is how it got there. We got to about $430 after the last weekend's fights. I went pretty in on the Vanilla Gorilla, and it definitely paid off there. And then I got a couple bonuses, and then shout out to one of the members of the community. He put me on Detroit Tigers yesterday, and I put $25 on the challenge account towards that, and that was really nice money to add on to the account. And that is a story of our journey here. If we have a solid weekend, we could potentially get to our $1,000 goal in this event. So that is definitely what we're trying to achieve here. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to submit our $5 parlay. All right, $5 can make $79.96. And then also keep in mind, crypto has also gone up. That's also another thing. So crypto has gone up. And then as per usual, we will put our $25 in right now. And again, guys, we will put $25 in here. And then when the Yadong Casey fight starts, or Kenny fight starts, we'll bet on Torres. And then when that fight starts, we'll bet on Luque, and so on. And one last thing, if you guys made it this far, I definitely appreciate it, but we're not going to have a UFC event for another 2 whole weeks. We won't have another UFC event until August 21st. We can't sit around, I'm not going to sit around and not decode for 2 weeks, guys. That's too long. I'm not doing that. So what we're going to do is, starting next week, every other day or so, because I'm not doing this every day, and I want everybody to get an expectation of this. I don't care how good we do, but we will be doing Major League Baseball in the meantime, between now and the 21st. After the 21st, we will get back to our regular scheduled programming with our with UFC, but we'll also we'll getting started into NCAA football, and then a week after that we'll have NFL. So we'll have UFC, college football, and NFL all the time after that. So I don't want to get too distracted in Major League Baseball, so that's why I don't want to get too much. We might, after the 21st, we might do a little bit that 1 week, maybe, we'll see. But to be real, I just kind of want to do it in the meantime for the next couple weeks, and then you know, do it for you guys, because I know you guys definitely don't want to sit around waiting for me to do something, and I definitely don't want to sit around waiting to bet. I like betting and I like making money from these bets, so waiting 2 weeks isn't gonna fly for me. So that being said, guys, get ready for Major League Baseball for a couple weeks. Again, I don't care how good we do, but I don't care how good we do. I won't continue on with it for the rest of the season. I will do it only for these next couple of weeks, but I will create videos and everything for that for you guys. So that being said, I hope you guys have a great UFC weekend, great weekend in general. I want us to do amazing. If you guys see any other boosts or anything on any of the fights, doesn't matter if it's for our fighters or against our fighters, just post them, show us, let us know. I like to see all the boosts. The boosts are really good. We've been doing really great in the Hidden Gem Discord because of the boosts. So I thank everybody in the community who put me on that. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you guys make a lot of money, and I will catch you guys later.